There he is.
Okay.
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ben Slayton. Thank you for taking some time to talk to us. Let me give you a little context of who you're talking to. So you're talking to 50 of the brightest Black agents in America on the call right now. And we are honored to be on the call with you. And just want to learn a little bit more about what you got going on and how we can help you and how you can help us, if that's okay.
Absolutely. And I have to admit, since we made the announcement, our announcement has gone viral.
Mm-hmm.
And every hour we have to clean out our system.
Mm-hmm.
It is being overloaded.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're getting phone calls, 3 phone calls every minute.
Wow.
And I don't know how, we're trying to set up systems to make it work, but it's kind of crazy. But it's really what we were trying to achieve. So we can't say anything about it.
That's awesome. Awesome. So let me, if you don't mind, I would love to get started. I know we only have 30 minutes of your time. Tell us 3 things that we need to know about the Closing the Gap program.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll try to show you, I'll try to go through the PowerPoint a little fast so that we can kind of, it's okay that I share my screen.
Yeah. Yep, there we go.
There we go. Okay, good. As you can see, I mean, these are just some of the people, but I'll take you to, this is our management team in front of our Los Angeles office. But what I want you to really know is what our mission is. And our mission is to empower the African-American communities throughout the United States in helping them to build sustainable wealth through home ownership. Our focus is to build a bridge for our clients who want to achieve the American dream of home ownership by providing unlimited capital, competitive interest rates, unbiased underwriting policies, and access to and expand the mix of loan programs, giving our people the tools required to achieve home ownership. And our goal is to become the #1 mortgage lender for African-American mortgage homeowners and become the first African-American mortgage company to lend $1 billion annually to our people. Now, the new program is set up under what is called the SPC program. The SPC program is a special purpose credit program. Now, it's under the fair lending portion of the government. It's been around for some 30 years. It's just that no one knew anything about it, or the lenders did not want to do it. When I found out about it, then it seemed to be that there were several companies working on trying to come out with something. Some of the banks are using it for their programs where they don't actually lend loans, and they're trying to get caught up on that. So that's what's happening there. This program will be released and available after Monday, October 17th, 2022. So let me tell you more about this. The SPCP is defined as a special purpose credit program, and it's made available by the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. Again, that was enacted 30 years ago. Under the federal law, lenders are permitted to design and implement an SPC program to extend credit to a class of persons who would otherwise be denied credit or would receive it on less favorable terms under certain conditions. Now, our regulator as a mortgage banker is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And they issued a guidance confirming that the SPC program for real estate loans or credit assistance that are compliant with ECOA and Regulation B are protected under the Fair Housing Act. So what we are presenting is a legal program that is sanctioned by our regulators, the CFPB. And so, you know, we've been getting calls from people saying, well, how can you do that? How can you, you know, make a loan for just Black people? Well, it isn't just for Black people, but the way our program is set up is that you, it's for certain census tracts located within the Black community that has 51% or more African American population.
How do we identify those census tracts?
I have a program that will show you to do that, how to do that.
Okay.
So all we need is the borrower. The borrower has to live in that census, in a census tract that is approved. Once the borrower is approved and they live in that census tract, they can buy anywhere in the world.
So hold up. So they just have to originate, their residence has to be where they submit their application from, has to be in the census tract, but they can use this program anywhere.
That's correct.
Got you.
That is correct. Unlike some of our competitors where, you know, they haven't been lending in the Black community. So they, you know, put this program together so that they can show the government that they are lending in that area. So that's how that comes about.
Okay, got it.
Okay. The CFPC program is called Closing the Gap. The Closing the Gap was designed to assist African Americans to achieve home ownership in certain urban census tracts where African Americans' population is 51% or higher of the city's population. And the homes are affordable in comparison to the cost of renting. Mm-hmm. Our 6 markets, we have 6 test markets that we are working in. And those 6 markets, in Atlanta, Chicago, Baltimore, Detroit, Memphis, and Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. We wanted more states, but these are the states that we are able to get approved right away. I'm sure that after the program gets off the ground, that we will be able to choose other communities that have 51% or more African American population.
What other cities do you see being cities that are going to be your next up?
Well, there's Florida, there's Alabama, all the southern states, and some of the central states that have, you know, are where we live, basically, is where the program is going to go.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, eligible properties, single family residence and condominiums only at this time. We asked for 2 to 4s, but they didn't want to do that. And again, you know, we are a mortgage banker. We can't hold our loans in our portfolio like a bank does, because the bank gets money from you and me and others to deposit money into the bank, and then the bank lends our money out. So we don't have that situation. We have to sell our loans in the secondary market to get the cash back so that we can make more loans.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, again, the program is designed for any person of any race, and there's a first-time home buyer or repeat home buyers, but the program means that, or starts with, you must live in the census tract that has 51% or more African American population. When you ask yourself, you know, how many or what percentage of your borrowers or buyers that you deal with are African American? And that tells you the answer right there. I'm looking to deal with you, and you know that your borrowers are approximately 90% African American or higher. Okay.
I got a quick question, guys in the chat. We got 60 agents in the chat. Tell us what percentage of your borrowers are African American. Put it in the chat if you don't mind. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. That's a good question. I appreciate you doing that. Okay, the loan amounts will follow the Fannie Mae loan limits for the marketing area. You, whatever area that your borrowers are going to buy in, Fannie Mae has the limits published, you know, in different states and different counties as to what the loan limits are. So we have to follow those loan limits.
Mhm.
The area medium income, in most programs like this, they require that the borrower's income can be no more than, say, 80% of the medium income.
Right.
Well, in this particular program, no income limits at all. So a guy making the kind of money that you make can buy a home, in this program with, as long as you live in one of the census tracts.
Got you. So, all right. So when you say live in one of the census tracts, right? So I'm just imagining some things here, and this is off the record. Is living in the census tract meaning that what is that definition of living in the census
Well,
tract?
we're going to ask you for a copy of your driver's license.
Okay.
And your driver's license is going to have an address on it with the zip code.
Okay.
We're going to put your zip code into our program, and it's going to tell us whether you live within the census tracts that we have.
And is that as far as they're going, or are they asking for more documentation about?
No, that's it. And there's no time period as to how long you have to live in the community.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Okay, so the down payment is 1% required from the borrower.
Mhm.
We're working on getting some of the closing costs done. That's why we aren't actually kicking it off until October 17th. But so I'm working on a few things, trying to get more and more things into the credit. We do get a free appraisal.
Mhm.
So the borrower gets a free appraisal, and they get free counseling on the pre-closing, and I asked for pre-counseling on the back end. So after a person gets into a property and gets started fixing their home up, making it their home, and is their first time home buyer, I want that buyer to be touched every quarter. How are you doing? You having any issues that we can help you with?
After they purchase.
After the closing, right? So the first year of that. And the borrower gets a free first year home warranty as well.
Wow. And that all comes from the mortgagee, the mortgage.
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct. Okay. And the minimum credit score on this program is 620.
Okay.
But we're going to price the 620 as if the borrower had a 680 credit score.
Okay. So when you say reduce closing costs, traditionally, guys, I'm here in Northern Virginia, closing costs is traditionally about 3% of sales price. I know it's different depending on if you're in DC, Maryland, or Virginia, different states. So when you say reduce closing costs, what kind of reduction are you kind of talking about?
I don't have that settled yet.
Okay.
Okay. I don't want to give you false information.
I get it.
But I'm working on getting that reduced.
Okay.
Okay. Now, just to kind of compare, a standard conventional loan, the household income $75,000, credit score 620, debt to ratio 45, loan amount they're going to buy 300,000. Let's say they put 5% down, mortgage rate 6.5%, discount points 1%. The total points was $3,000. The down payment $15,000. Closing costs approximately $6,000.
Mm-hmm.
So the total needed to close on our standard conventional loans around $24,000.
Right.
The mortgage payment is going to be $1,896. Taxes, insurance, homeowners insurance. So the total payment is going to be right at $2,600, almost $2,700. Under the Closing the Gap program, same information, $75,000 income, 620 credit score, 45 debt ratio. Although the debt ratio for this program is 50, but I'm just comparing apples with apples.
Okay.
So you got a $300,000 loan amount, 1% down, interest rates 6.25%. No discount points. So you got about $3,000 in down payment required, $3,700 in closing costs. So total cost to close would be around $6,750 opposed to $24,000.
Okay.
Monthly payments would be approximately $3,069. So just to kind of give you a little more in that, the less down payment of $17,250, monthly mortgage difference is $300, $312. Yearly savings would be $3,744. Over the life of the loan is $112,320, approximately $130,000 total savings.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay. This is our management team, our branch managers throughout the country.
Yeah.
Legacy Home Loan is the largest nationwide mortgage banking, Black-owned mortgage banking company in the country. I came from same space that you are. I came from being a realtor. I was the first Black realtor in America in 1964. I was the first Century 21 franchise broker owner.
1968. I know. Hey, I studied you, my brother.
Okay. All right. But some of the people on the call, haven't heard it. So,
oh man, if they don't know about you, man, I don't know what time it is, man. You open so many doors for us, man. We're appreciative.
Okay, so that's a quick rundown. Now, what we're doing is before October 17th, we're going to have training where every agent will be able to be certified. We're going to give you a certificate that you can work on the program.
Okay.
So, but I just wanted to, since I only had 30 minutes, I wanted to be able to kind of quickly give you a rundown, and then we'll save a little time for questions. But we will also let you know when we are going to have the training so that you can get certified and you'll be able to work it out.
Awesome. This is great. This is great. So I think I got 5 more minutes, 9 more minutes of your time. So I got a couple questions for you.
Sure.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna let you minimize your screen there. If you
hold on a second.
There we go.
Okay.
All right, cool. So just some rapid fire questions here. So first Black realtor in America,
right,
in 1964. First Black broker in 1968. You were talking to
first Black broker, Century 21 broker owner.
Gotcha.
Franchise.
Got you. In 1968, right?
Right.
Got you. Why are Black agents important?
Well, Black agents is important to us because we don't sell property. All we do is sell loans. And we can't sell a loan if the borrower doesn't have a property to get the loan. So agents to us is number one. That's who we deal with.
So why are Black agents important to the culture, important to America?
Well, because, I don't know about, I won't say to America, but to Black people, we speak the language. If you, you may not, I'm sure you do, but you know that we speak a language that most people don't. We can look at each other and know what we're talking about. Okay. And we can roll our eyes at each other and know what we're talking about. So we speak a language that only our people speak. And it's important that we, when I grew up, there was this thing called crabbing. When they talk about crabs in a barrel, one crab try to crawl out, another crab pulls him back down. That doesn't exist today in our society like it used to. We want to work with each other. I want every person involved in the transaction to look like you and me, whether it's the closing agent, the guy that's a home inspector, whatever it is. I want everybody into the system.
That's awesome. All right, next question.
And keep the money in the community.
That's right. Because I believe that I've always told people that if America wants Black people to economically benefit, they need to give the money to Black businesses, right? They need to give us opportunity to have our own ecosystem because we are best able to serve our own community. We understand it. We got boots on the ground. I see this big gap between people who aren't in the community, who don't understand it, and the community, where it's just so much that's lost in translation. The money doesn't get to where it needs to be. There's distrust. Give the money to us, especially intelligent black businesses like you, and we'll figure it out.
That's exactly.
Awesome. 55 years in real estate.
Yeah.
All right. You got a lot of agents on here. What's one bit of advice that you would give a group of agents about them being better, about them excelling? Like, just give them a couple of quick nuggets about how they can be better agents.
Just don't accept no for an answer. You've got to, you can't imagine how many times someone has told me no in trying to build my companies. And you just have to be determined, not accept no for an answer, and not, we were having a meeting with our loan officers this morning, and one of the things that you have to do is be consistent. Anyone can be successful one or two times, but to be consistently successful year after year after year after year, it takes dedication. And you can't be successful in this business being part-time. You can't be successful in this business until you decide that it is a profession and that this is something that you are going to create for yourself. Tell me another business that you can make 6-7 figures and not even have a college education.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I love it. I love it. I think I got 4 minutes more of your time.
Okay.
I've got, I read a stat, 3% of loan originators are Black.
That's correct. In the entire country.
That's crazy.
Okay, but 50% of those 3% work for a bank. Okay, and they are fed. They don't, as we say crudely, is that they don't eat what they kill, and they're being fed by the bank. Our people have to go out, develop relationships with realtors, and make the realtors get their loans closed on their properties.
Okay.
So that and the guys that work for the banks, they've been there with the bank a long time or whatever. We call that, if someone called me and said, I want to come to work for you and I work for a bank, I call that, we have to beat the bank out of them because they have a mentality that we as mortgage bankers don't have.
Yeah. Tell me, I got a couple of follow-up questions. People are asking about the census tract. They're asking about where the idea of where you think the expansion markets are going to be. How do we get certified? Guys, what I'm going to do, since we don't have a whole lot of time, is I'm going to make some follow-up questions and I'll email you,
Okay.
Mr. Slayton, if you don't mind. And you can kind of send us back all that information, and guys, we'll distribute it on our platform so you guys can have it and kind of run from there. Let me see. One last question. 30% gap in home ownership between African Americans and everyone else. Obviously, we're going to use to close the gap. We're going to use close the gap as one of our bullets in our chamber. But are there any other things as Black agents that you feel like we can do to help close that gap? And do we have a responsibility to close that gap? And I'll let you end on that one.
Well, absolutely, you have a responsibility. Life is divided into 3 parts: 20 years of formal learning, 40 years of learning and earning, and the rest of your life returning everything that you've earned and learned before you die. So if you don't do that, I mean, you're obligated, especially as a Black person. I can't tell you how many people have asked me to be their mentor. And I can also tell you that if someone asks me that, I'll say yes. And only 1%, 2% of the people that ask actually follow through. So it's a mentality that we have to change in ourselves.
I love it. I love it, sir. We appreciate your time. I want to honor every minute of it. Thank you for taking the time. And would you mind, as things kind of get less viral, maybe setting aside a little time for us, maybe, once every 6 months, just to check in on us?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I will let you know when we're going to have a training program so that everybody on the call can get certified.
Okay.
And we'll work from there.
Awesome. Awesome. God bless you, sir. We appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And good luck to you guys.
All right.
Okay.